Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all good. We gonna get the camera together. We live. We gonna edit. Don't worry about it. How that look?
A little more. Now do me a favor, take that handle and turn it that way. The other way.
Other way.
Other way. Other way. A little more.
Okay. Okay.
Yo,
We live.
yo.
We live on the net, yo. What's up? What's up? Let's not turn down the music. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Self-Absorbed Show. I'm your host, B. Self, Brian Self. Got a good show to put together to y'all today, man. Got a good show. Got a hot guest in the show. Got a comedian, good friend of mine, good brother, spiritual brother. Earl, you ever had a younger guy, somebody that was younger than you that you kind of like looked up to? It happens sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It happens sometimes.
All the time.
You know what I'm saying? But I can't let I can't let my ego get in the way and saying that, he's not a brother I look up to, because this is a good brother. And this is a good reason why I wanted him on the show today, because we got a very, 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 very powerful topic to talk about, man. We always have these conversations about comedy and in the direction that comedy is going into. Earl, you mind if I play my little music a little bit in the background while I set this up? So we always talk about what direction is going in, what's happening in comedy,
Yeah.
celebrities.
Is my mic on?
Yeah, your mic's on.
I can't.
Black celebrities.
I'm good. I can't hear myself.
Can you hear yourself now?
I can hear myself now.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna have a conversation about the direction of Black Hollywood and the direction of Black celebrityism. Then the way to set this up, me and Dubs, we have conversations about
Everything.
And we had a conversation about a week ago about comedy and about, it all started from I think we were saying we were watching a Lil Rel show. I was watching a Lil Rel show. And okay show, a good friend, I don't want to say good friend, a nice person. We all love him.
That we
Lil
know.
Rel. Know him, we love him.
Right.
I don't want to call him like a good friend or nothing, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know him, he's a nice guy.
Right.
But I got to watching the show or whatever, and it was kind of a disconnect for me. With some of the jokes, and right out, I just felt like the show is kind of dated. I felt like it's a show that should have been on the air about 20 years ago. So that's where all this conversation started from. Is Black comedy maturing? Is Black comedy still in the 90s? Is Black comedy still doing homophobic material? Is Black comedy still misogynistic? Do you have a lot of Black comics still going on stage, bitch this, bitch that, gay bashing? Earl, I used to do a gay joke. One of my favorite jokes to do was a joke about was so-called my gay nephew. I used to do a joke about gay nephew joining the gang, and I would set it up and I'd say,
"You really got a gay nephew?"
No, but I don't have a gay nephew.
See, that's the problem.
But I have a gay brother.
Because I got gay nephews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So.
And you used to do material about your gay nephews
all
also.
The time. Right. All the time.
Yeah. But let me ask you, with this climate that's coming now. Do you still feel like you could do jokes about your gay nephews?
Yeah.
Even with the Kevin Hart situation coming out recently?
I think you should. I think each generation is going to have what the generation before them. It's like that stuff don't get old. Like gay people not going to go away. Gay nephews not going to go away. And comedy is not going to go away. So each generation of comedians is going to always talk about what they know. It's like We can't be like, oh, Richard Pryor and them talked about that. We can't, like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? We got to talk about what we see and what we know. It's just a different perspective you got to put on it. You know, you gotta be clever. You know, the gay community is making it real hard. You can't be as blunt as you used to be. Now you got to be real clever in how you touch them subjects. But yeah, you know, they gonna always talk about those things. And yeah, I think, you know.
See, I disagree.
What?
I very much disagree, because you have one of the top comics out here,
Mm-hmm.
as in Kevin Hart, came out few years back saying
Mm-hmm.
he won't even touch the subject anymore. It's just too risky.
That's because
And I hear a lot of mainstream comics will tell you I won't subject anymore.
right, and that's because Kevin Hart is getting paid. But when you come to the clubs that we're in, like,
I mean,
ain't nobody gonna snatch no deal from me.
Well, I'm just saying.
So I can talk about.
Well, let me ask you this: if you ever, strive or want to get a deal like that one day, do you ever feel like, because they dug tweets on him from 2011?
Right.
Do you ever feel like some of your old stuff may come back and haunt you?
Oh, it will, and I can't wait for that shit to be a problem. I can't wait for that to be an issue. Like, for some shit I said 10 years ago be a problem.
So here you are, you got a new situation, potentially, new money.
Yeah.
And you have the LGBT come out on you and say, hey, this guy was a monster in 2014. I'm not sure he should be representing your brand like that. And you're saying you're ready to fight those.
I'm ready to say, hey.
Are you ready to apologize? Is that because are you ready to apologize? Because that's what they're gonna want.
Nope, I'm not. And I'm gonna be like, you can't pay me to be somebody else. Y'all, I'm not the person y'all want.
So essentially saying he's ready to be unemployed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing, nigga. I'm from the west side of Chicago. We grew up with you can't hurt me by not giving me what I didn't have.
So you won't compromise yourself to make it.
For what?
For the paper.
Nah. I might as well go get a job. We become comics to say what you say, to be the mirror for people. If that's corporate America, just doing what they tell me to do every day.
So you're saying you're not willing to play the game for a career?
Nope, I won't do it.
Okay.
Nah, not me, B.
I want to talk. You know what? It's a lot of new comics on the scene. A lot of comics are doing this split screen thing.
I hate it.
Very much so. I kind of got into a Instagram back and forth thing a little bit with I think Rodney Perry. I think he Rodney Perry, veteran comic. I respect him as a vet. I'm just like, as a vet, and I saw him.
He did it.
He's doing it now, and
I don't knock shorties who's doing it. That's all they know. But when you not from that era, it's like, that's just like seeing LL Cool J rapping like the Migos. That will hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That will hurt. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't got to.
But my question is, do they? Because they clearly feel they do have to do that. Because they feel like that's the new form. That's the formula of the shorties. But I think the older comics are trying to adapt that formula.
I think it's each his own. Like, I don't like to see my heroes do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't like to see Chris Rock do that'll be like, yo,
yeah.
What is you doing? Like, you my hero. Like, but if
is it hacky?
It's definitely hacky. It's definitely hacky. I don't mind DC Young Fly and them guys 25, they're 24. They didn't hit.
But what about a 35-year-old that's doing it? 40-year-old.
I don't even think it's an age thing. I think it's if you're 40 and you've been doing stand up for 10, 15 years, then no. Because you came through stand up. If you're 35 and 40 and you people know you for videos and split screens, that's different.
So you're saying they have no business jumping on that bandwagon?
I don't think so. Or I think just be clever enough to do it. It's a different ways. Like, okay, you need social media. You need what's going out, but you don't have to do the split screen talking about this lady with the wig on that everybody see on social media. Like, we all see that video. We all can. I like doing stuff that nobody else can do. If I can talk about the person who just whatever hot topic is, and I dissect that on. So that's like you can do that too.
Mhm.
What can you do that another person who's funny can't do? That's what comedy is to me. Like if you set a prop here and we both had to talk about it or make it funny, we're gonna do it differently. You know what I'm saying? But that a video and you talking about, oh, look at this nigga's shoes. Look, like, come on, bro. That was like grammar school.
Yeah, and it becomes. I would have to say I agree with you. But going back to, I want to touch on the rail show
Okay.
a little bit more because I think that was I love that look.
I never seen the show.
Really, I've never missed the episode. And I watch it faithfully.
I've only seen clips of like how what be on Facebook. It'd be clips, but I never sat down and watched the show.
But okay, it's well that show kind of sparked this conversation between us because it was me who told you that my opinion of the show that it was a show that had a 90s feel.
Right.
Like, oh, this show should have been out in the 90s.
In the 90s.
It's a character driven show and I asked myself, is this where the consciousness of the country and the consciousness with the immigration going on is, with everything that's happening right now, is this what we need to be, could we have done this better? You know what I'm saying? Or not say we, but could he have done something different to modernize the show and modernize the comedy?
Well, I think how TV work and the platform it work, where they take something that wasn't broke and you just enhance it, because each show that's on TV is from another show. Like what people don't know, like Married with Children was nothing but All in the Family, but they just switched it from being racism to sexism. So it's the same concept. So if real concept was based off Martin, and I believe like if he got a lot of more seasons, because I truly hate Martin in the first season. Like I didn't like the earlier Martins. As Martin grew on, then I believe if he have the time, you're going to see that growth. You can't see that in 5 or 6 episodes or 12. You need the years.
Well, let me ask you this. Martin probably started the Martin show in his mid-20s.
Right.
And you may have, Rail starting the Rail show touching, close to 40.
Okay.
Does he have the time? And the way that comedy stress is set up now, where it's just a microwave thing, it's just you either got to pop or not.
Okay.
Does he have the time to stretch that out and develop that into, like you say, Martin had, Martin had the time to mature.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why.
Because I'm saying, are we getting a late start as it is? Coming in the game.
I mean, I know where you're going with it, and I know like how you always say. But from that standpoint of Real just doing the show how he want to do it, how he wanted to look, that's just what it is, and that's a win. You know what I'm saying? To do what you want to do, how you want to do it. Now, from a show standpoint of it becoming what everybody wanted to become or what it should become or whatever, that's just happened with time. If they took the Fresh Prince off in the first year, we wouldn't have saw that scene with him and Uncle Phil. We wouldn't have saw that. It became.
My pushback to that would be that was a totally different time. When Martin first aired, I remember my whole family, we sat around and watched that.
Okay.
Like everybody, my cousins, it was an event.
Okay.
I don't think these shows that come out are events. I think it's like, I catch it on Hulu if I feel like it. I'll catch it. I'll catch it on demand if I got the chance. It's not an event. So my question to you is, in 2018, where is Black celebrity headed?
But it's not that way because the shows just ain't good. It's that way because society and social media and what's going on in the world. When we was kids getting out of school at 3:15, 2 o'clock, all you had to look forward to was watching TV that night.
Okay.
Right now, you got the damn Netflix, you got so many options. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, but that's why I say it's not fair. You can't, because I guarantee you, if you throw Real Show in 1992, when it was an event, then it'll be different.
I thought
at them times.
that show in 2002, I think we have a fair chance
It'll
of
be
popping.
different. But I don't know if TV is the same. I don't even watch TV no more. When I was a kid, I used to hear people say they don't watch TV. I used to think people was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what's going on. I don't even watch it.
The things the things that society finds funny, are they different now?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You
can't talk about stuff no more. Like, it used to be funny to talk about fat people or gay people, or it's like that shit ain't fun. Can I cuss?
Yeah, you can get down a little bit.
Okay.
Just keep it smart.
Okay.
As long as you intelligently cuss.
Okay. Right. But now it's like you can't talk about retarded kid. You can't. Society has changed a lot of stuff on what we call funny.
Where does that leave a lot of black up and coming comics from our generation who came up watching Def Jam era?
Okay.
Who came up with Living Color, Two Man and Snaps, and when it was freedom to do what you want.
They got a lot of work to do.
So what does that say to these comics who have to readjust to this current climate?
You got work to do. You got to understand that the times change, and your jokes got to change, and you got to. That's the beauty of what we do, Self. Like, you got to elevate. Like it's just like in basketball. If they switch the defense and you can't go left, you can't run the dude off. You got to go right, and that's just how society. Now we know we can't go left. If I know I can't do that, but I want to be so gifted, so talented, I can go to the right, I go to the middle. I can be able to do that. But if these comics, if you're not able to do that, then you're gonna be making split screen videos like on Instagram.
Well, let me ask you this: is there a space for new talent of Black American comedy or entertainment? Is there a space for new Black talent, new Black actors, new Black comedians? You see these movies coming out. You see, me and you had this discussion about a lot of new movies coming out. I talked to you about.
I don't like the Black space.
No, I talked to you about the movies, all the Black movies that are being played by Nigerians. Take the Harriet Tubman movie that's to be casted by a Nigerian woman. Tell you about Selma was Dr. King was played by a Nigerian man.
Yeah.
And you talk about 12 Years a Slave. He's African.
The dude who played in Four Brothers. Vic the Sweet.
You talk about you talk about King T'Challa.
Where he from?
He's African.
Is he? I think
so. Where is our space? So you talk about the guy from Get Out.
Yeah.
He's British African.
Really?
He's not American.
Wow.
I think he's British. But the thing is, you have all these foreign actors taking our places.
Okay.
And where does that leave us? If we can't even play us, where do we go with that? You know what I'm saying? So I named this show is Black Celebrity on Life Support. Because meaning that if we can't play us, are we on life support? Are we running into a burning building with Black entertainment? I'm sure a lot of Black comics will look at this, a lot of inspiring, entertainers, a lot of Blacks just want to jump in celebrity off GP.
Yeah.
But my question to you is it dying? Is Black celebrity losing steam? Is it not like it used to be? You used to have, you had Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Eddie Murphy. These were megastars.
Okay.
Hollywood megastars who are. You have Eddie Murphy, who's probably 300 million in.
Okay.
For big time money. Martin Lawrence, huge. They always talk about how big Martin Lawrence's house is and things like that. And I would say it was that because they were timing and they were from a Pacific generation, and they came up through a Pacific time and they got lucky, and it happened then, and that's over.
I think, and yeah, we talked about this. You say it's a timing issue, where I say I've been watching because I want to be in that space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've always watched interviews and I watched celebrities, right? And I don't think it's a timing. I think it's always been like this because it's always been those few. If you watch videos of people like Sanaa Lathan and all these actresses always talking about when they're in the casting rooms or auditions, it's the same actors and actresses for the same parts. And it's always been like that for years for African Americans. It's always been, if Sanaa Lathan go for a part, she's going to see Regina King. She's going to, now what it is for you and I, we are in that business, so we see it more, and it seems like, oh, it's dying, or we don't. But the truth is, it's always been this way, and you're going to have, okay.
Well, yeah, I would agree that was always competitive.
You just replace your Kevin Hart, your Eddie Murphys with your Kevin Harts, and that's just where it is at in 2018. But it's always been.
My
like
idea
that.
is this: you had comics coming out of Def Jam era, to make crazy money.
Okay.
You had Chris Tucker.
Okay.
I believe he's getting $10-20 million a film. Doing Rush Hour. I mean, you had Eddie Griffin. But see, the man in Big Money. Right. You had Bernie Mac. You had.
But watch this.
I mean, you had comics come out of that scene to become multimillionaires. Dozens. I can count at least 12 that probably became millionaires. But I don't. Off one show.
Watch this. I don't think all them guys you just learned or named, they wasn't getting what Chris was like. Chris was getting more than all. Like all them guys got famous or what we would. But out of all them guys you just named, we just know that Chris Tucker was getting 20 a movie. I don't think Bernie was getting 20 a movie or Eddie was getting that much.
Well, Eddie Griffin there, Eddie Griffin. I'm
talking about from being in Hollywood, movie star. All of them became successful.
I think Malcolm and Eddie had a 4-year run, 4 or 5 year run.
But they wasn't on Chris level in terms of Hollywood as far like how Chris Tucker came out of Def Jam.
Yeah, I would agree that he was probably
the one.
He was one of the strongest, but I would not say he was the only one.
That's happening now.
Because I would argue that the main comics from that show are still eating off that show to this day. They're still able to tour. They're still able to make money off comic from facial recognition to this day.
But that's that's happening now with the DC Young Fly. They eating. They getting shows. They making money. They getting 10, 12, 8 grand a show, or they just probably ain't crossed over.
But my thing is that would they ever get the kind of opportunities, the kind of opportunities that we saw in the 90s, to kind of where Hollywood would say, you know what, we're gonna pump, we believe in you, we're gonna pump millions into you.
I think. Like,
you know what I mean?
I think so, because I think everything comes back around.
I don't think so.
I think it's got to come back around, Self. It has to. They gotta start producing these movies again.
No, you know what? Because I don't think there's a space for us anymore. Meaning like back then, 20, 30 years ago, America was different. It was just you had a lot of black people, white people, and some Spanish people. I went to Woodfield Mall the other day. I didn't know where I was. I thought I was in Saudi Arabia somewhere.
What type of
It's just everyone. It's it's Muslims with
there wasn't no black people.
I mean, it's black, but it's so diverse now. That when my argument is that I used to go to that mall when I was in high school, and it was just black people and white people in that mall. You know what I mean? It's everybody in that mall now. So my pushback is that this whole everything is changing. This whole country's changing. So it was a time when when white folks we want to see black people make us funny and we'll pay for it.
Okay.
My argument is that there's not a time that they want to see that anymore.
Not no more.
White people aren't saying make us laugh anymore and we'll make you rich.
They tired of black people.
I just think they're going to get their black people from other places.
I say this to people.
And there's more black people. See, there's us. See, I think we need to make a difference between black Americans who descended from slavery, and black Caribbeans, black Africans, because we kind of lump it all in just blackness. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see if there's a space for us, from our culture, from the people who descended from slavery. Niggas.
That's what you saying.
Yes, it's that space for niggas.
Because what I think, like I tell people, I think Hollywood they like black people, but they don't like niggas. Like they want to use like Boris Kojo, like you just said, they black, but they not black. You know what I'm saying? They not
the Jamar Carmichael type black.
They not from
Key and Peele black.
They not from Compton, or they not from Ohio. They not from Chicago. they from, like you said, from other countries. But they just like their skin, they like their color.
But a lot of I gotta give some props to some of these talking points I use. Some of these talking points are coming from a show I watch on YouTube called Tone Talks.
Okay.
And this was, and I suggest you look at the show, and I'll send you the link. But the show puts a lot of questions in my mind about, because he did a show about black celebrity and about this black celebrityism disguise black poverty. Meaning that you take, for instance, the show Blackish. Me and Earl was talking about this. You ever watched that show Blackish?
I've never seen that before either.
On the show Blackish, they live in LA, and they probably live in a $3-4 million house.
And these black people.
And these are black people. He's a quote unquote graphic designer.
Anthony Anderson.
And on the show we would think he would make anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000 a year as a graphic designer. And she's a doctor. Now they live in a $3-4 million house on the show, and all their kids go to private school, where it costs $40,000 a year.
So he's making more than that then.
No, but the thing is,
trying to say he's not making a whole lot of money?
The thing is, graphic designers don't make that kind of salary. So we know, if you know the salary of a typical graphic designer, you can kind of estimate how, what's his salary. He's not. What we're trying to do, the show is more of like a fantasy based show. So my question to you is that do we rather see ourselves caught up in a fantasy than do we not want to see the reality of ourselves?
See, and that's the thing. I think TV did that so much with the Good Times, with those type of shows where we show that type of black. Now I think when you put us on TV, you don't want to see that struggle.
Why not?
Because it's like we supposed to move away from that.
But we haven't. But when you do the numbers, we're broken. We're way broker than we were in the 80s. When you do the number, black people have way less money than we did in the 70s, 80s, and even the 90s. We're not. My generation is not going to do as well as my parents' generation did. I could not provide for my children what my parents provide for me. Most of my people my age can't send 4 or 5 kids to private school. My parents sent 3 kids to private school. Coming up, I don't know who from my generation can send 3 kids to private school right now. I was just talking to one of my friends, one of my more affluent friends yesterday. I was telling him, do you think you could do what your father did? Send it? He's like, hell no. Ain't no way I can send. It's a different time. Meaning that like salaries haven't changed, but rent has, housing has. A lot of people are making the same amount of money they made 30 years ago, but housing is 2-3 times higher now. So when you say that there's money out there, I don't think there is.
It just all depends on who you know. Like I'm doing way better than my parents, like that's for sure. I just think it's just who you know in your circle.
But do you think? But let me ask you: you're doing better than your parents, but black. And we had this conversation before. Your particular background is
we was broke.
Is a little different. I came up probably lower middle class. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of
all you gotta do in my family just have a job, and you doing better than like that was just.
But you know what? That's not typical.
That's terrible.
And because the typical thing is that people who are 50, who are probably like in their 60s and their 70s, they did better than we. You know what I mean? Like my grandfather, for example, probably had an 8th grade education, was able to buy 3, 4, 5 properties.
I just seen that.
That doesn't happen.
I don't know
in 2018.
I don't know how they did that. I don't like. And you're right about that. Like my grandfather couldn't read, but he had like a farm, had a store, had all this stuff, and it's like these dudes can read and write and don't own nothing.
Well, it's really because a lot more money was in Middle America, and a lot of more money was in the middle class.
Okay,
we look now, and most of the money is hoarded at the top. With the extreme, what they call the super capitalists now, and wealth, we don't have as much money at the bottom or as before. So it's just funny you say that because and I think that's what those shows do. And it's funny you think that way because I think that's what the NBA does. That's what shows like Blackish does. That's what they make black people think we got more than we do.
But
and when you really do the numbers, we are devastated.
I don't know. I don't know the numbers. I don't know. Okay. I'm just. This might sound shallow, but just looking from like the rappers, ball players, other people from now, and you go back 30, 40 years ago, or whatever time you're talking about. It just seems like it's more successful people. Look at Diddy, look at Jay-Z, look at Jordan, look at all these people, and then you go back to 1960 or 1970, and you just had Marvin Gaye or whatever was out there. It's more people now.
There are more celebrities now, not more people.
I mean, and more celebrities.
That's the big difference. See, I think somewhere they said we're going to give black celebrities the money and we're going to make black people poor. See, as long as they keep feeding black celebrities money, the rest of the country think we're okay. They're regular, as long as they make more black rich celebrities.
But we know it's poor people.
No. Follow me what I'm saying.
Okay.
You just made an excellent point about back in the day. It wasn't as much. There's much. The celebrities have more money now. This, then, the third.
But I'm just talking about the concept of Blackish, where it is people that's living like that for real.
Not really.
Yes, it is.
But
you just feel because you don't know. No.
I'm not saying that there isn't black. No, listen. If you don't think I know there's some black people who have money, I know there's some.
And that they're not entertainers.
What I'm saying is this.
What you said.
The amount of black people who have, if 99% of black people don't have money, and 1% do, why are we seeing a show about the 1% who does and not shows representing the 99% who don't? Why do several shows just on the 1%?
Because in order to get people to watch TV, you ain't gonna watch the stuff you're going like. Why would I watch what I'm dealing with?
Why don't black people want to see them?
Because
it's aspirational. You want to see something you can attain higher to. Why?
Why do you watch sports? You can't play ball.
Let me ask you.
Why would you want to see somebody dunk if you can't dunk?
And but then take a show like Roseanne, right?
Right? Why would you watch anything?
Take a show like Roseanne.
Okay.
White people don't have a problem seeing themselves for what they are. Say, you know what? We're poor, right? Trash. We don't have no money. You watch the show, we broke. Number one show in the ratings.
Okay.
No, now can that be? Now take that same show, make it a black show now. Poor. Are they going to protest that show and get it shut down? Take that same show, and what we all know, white people have way more money than us in this country. So, but they are okay with seeing themselves.
But see, you taking it too deep.
I got to.
You taking it too deep. Roseanne was a comedian, just like Lil Rel is a comedian who base shows off their life.
Lil Rel show, he plays a nurse. He has on the show, he has a huge apartment for a nurse.
Okay.
But the thing is, the male nurses, the black male nurses in Chicago, I know.
Bro,
they don't live like. But no.
None of the shows add up to where they can live and afford.
But the thing is, that's why we need more Good Times. That's why we need Good Times back. Wow. Because when Good Times is on the air, seeing that every day. So let me hash it out. When people saw Good Times every day,
fuck you up.
And people said, "Look at this," he said, "Look how these black people are living." Okay. Say I'm a white man with some money. I'm watching Good Times. Baby, get in here, baby. Look at this shit. Black people are broke. So time out. Just chill for a minute. Baby, get in here. You see this? Baby, this ain't right. Somebody need to advocate for these black people. They're broke. Baby, you know what? I'm going to sign off on something for black people to get some money. Right? Now. We seeing Blackish, right?
Okay.
Oh, they straight. They got more money than me. Now, these niggas need less than what they have now. when we're really broker than we were at good times. When good times was on,
So watch this.
we had money. When good times was on, we had a lot more money than we do now.
So
black families were more stable. But
you can't blame that on shows, bro.
no,
The show ain't going to do. So you just said something about numbers. You don't think the wealthiest people in the world already know situations of black families? They know the numbers.
Not necessarily.
They know who's doing what. You don't think Warren Buffett know? I mean, how many poor people?
We don't. We don't.
So you think because if he watch a show now, that's going to make him contribute because he's like, no, they already know the numbers.
No, but I think it says something. I think it can set a climate.
So watch this. Let me ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
You think Good Times help more African American people than the Cosby Show? Yes or no?
Very much yes.
Why?
Because Good Times got policies passed. Good Times made affirmative action happen. Good Times made affirmative action. Good Times pushed affirmative action through. Helped push policies through. Because people saw that and said, these people are broke and they need help. So the reason we have an Oprah now is because they needed more black people. That's the only reason you have an Oprah, because of shows like Good Times and the government saying we need more black people. That's the only reason we saw that. Now, when the Cosby Show came out, that said a whole new thing that said, wait a minute. First of all, they did a show about a family that pretty much almost doesn't exist in Brooklyn at that time.
How?
Because trust me, you can talk to people in Brooklyn and they'll tell you that family did not exist. Nobody knows that type of family. You know what I'm saying? Where they have a $4 million house. And we're going to wrap it up soon. But I say this to say that, and this, you know what? We're really going to have to do a part 2.
We're going to have to do a part 2, part 3, part 4.
This show got cut, because I'm going to come with the data.
Yeah, you got to get the data.
Because the middle black family is worth $1,700 without depreciating assets, and you don't know that.
I don't.
And
but I know I'd rather watch the Cosby Show than Good Times any goddamn.
You got it, man. But this has been a self-absorbed show, and I think this was a strong 30 minutes. We're gonna come back next week. I hope I can get them back, and we can hash this out.
But see, you got the wrong guess. You need Willie Wilson.
No.
You need that nigga. You need to talk to.
I need Willie Wilson, man.
You got
all right.
Hey, for your issue, you got real issues. You trying to say
this to be self-absorbed show?
I just want to be funny.
Yeah.
You need to talk to that man right there on how he's going to change and what he's going to do.
Willie Wilson, everybody, be on the show next week, man. Be self-absorbed show. Catch you next week. M Dubs, be self, man.
You need to call